I think of investing, and I think of investing. I think of my thesis template. I think of like Fisher 15 thought process as kind of like an abacus. And so I don't necessarily do it this way. Like, I don't actually write down exactly like this, but there are some parts where it's like a numerical thing where you think of like this issue on a scale of 1 to 5. The nature of their competitive advantage. Is it a 1 being the worst and 5 being the best? Is it a 5? And you keep going as you ask yourself these questions. If you're seeing a lot more 5s than 1s and 2s, then you're probably really onto something. And then it's like, and if it's all 5s, then now we're talking about like a very large position. If it's like a mix, but it's on valuation, I think it's interesting, but it's kind of a low quality business. That's all. There's no rules to this stuff. You asked about art versus science. It's art, but there are principles, and so to have that kind of a general idea of where the idea is skewing on the range of quality, I think is very important, and that goes into position sizing, and then thinking about downside. I mean, I had done this before, and then I saw it's actually really fun when you have something that you think is important as an investor, and then something you think has knows a thing or two mentions it. I was reading an interview, and I don't even want to say, but I was reading an interview, and it basically talked about position sizing, and I think conceptually is how I think is the right way to think about it. What's your worst case scenario? What are you willing to withstand as, personally? What are you telling your investors is kind of like a worst case scenario? What are their risk expectations? And then back into that in terms of like what is the largest position it could be. And so generally speaking, I think it's you invert. The last time I spoke publicly in an investing forum, the name of my presentation was "Invert, Always Invert," the Munger quote, and I think that is one of the. If I give another presentation, that would probably be the same title, because I think it's still a very rational way to think about investing.